Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have a game between KawaiiRice, the yellow Terran on the left side of Metalopolis, and his opponent is ATN Socke. He is a German Protoss player. He is the light blue Protoss on the bottom side of the map. They are at close flying positions. And KawaiiRice says very nice good luck right there, Socke as well. And this game was being played for the first round of the Root Warzone Tournament. There was a $3,500 prize pool, so both of these guys, of course, want to get a piece of that. This is a best-of-1 game, though, so whoever loses will get nothing, and the other one will continue on into the quarterfinals in a best-of-3 format. If you want to see the rest of the games from the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, Day 9 TV has already cast them, so you can go watch them there. I'm just doing the first-round games because no one cast them, and I'm sure there are some good ones in here, as all of these players are very, very good. Socke, his most notable performance in MLG, I think he got a third-place finish in the very first MLG event in Raleigh, North Carolina. KawaiiRice recently showed up to MLG DC, but did not get a chance to go to Dallas. He's been representing Fnatic, his team, all over the world, though. He's been to a couple of Canadian tournaments and a few in California as well, and he's just a well-known Terran player. He's played Terran since Brood War, and he'll continue to do so as long as he's still winning games. So KawaiiRice not really doing anything too exciting right now. He's doing the very standard Terran build, getting that refinery up. As soon as the Sparix finishes, he'll start his orbital command. Socke, on the other hand, not doing anything out of the ordinary either, doing the very simple Protoss build, gateway first, assimilator, and then we'll see another pylon and a cybernetics core, I'm sure. And the reason you see those builds so often is because they are so consistent. It's hard to screw up if you do that build, and Cybernetics Core, of course, for Protoss is necessary to build anything beyond gateways. So if you want to have a nice, robust army and not just zealots running around getting killed, then you will need that Cybernetics Core. And KawaiiRice doing some scouting after he finishes that supply depot. Orbital command is on time. As predicted, Socke is going to scout the close positions first just to see how many gateways he needs to build. Now he can settle with just one and probably start to expand. He sees that KawaiiRice is not at the top position either. KawaiiRice just now scouting over here, though, and he is still going to have to go the rest of the way around the map. He can't deduce where Socke is off of just that one location, even though he did walk right past this probe. He doesn't know when Socke actually sent it, so he's going to have to check the rest of those. KawaiiRice already positioned with a Marine here, going to be able to ward off this scouting probe from Socke. He's not going to get in, not going to get any solid information. All he saw was that one barracks, didn't even see the tech lab attached to it. So Socke is going to back off. He may leave this probe here for a while and build a pylon later on when he gets a couple more gateways up. Right now, he's just doing pretty much nothing, just chrono boosting out that first Stalker for defense. He might be able to kill off this SCV if and when it ever actually arrives. He dropped a pylon here behind his visibility blocker, the smoke here, which is great if KawaiiRice ever wants to try to do a drop. Socke will be able to see it very quickly and not just be taken by surprise. KawaiiRice actually has not done the same with the supply depot, so that could be an entry for Socke later on in this game. And it looks like KawaiiRice just took out this statue over here with just a single Marauder for some reason. He does not like statues to be in his way. And KawaiiRice checking out the expansion area. He's going to actually see this Nexus go down. No, he isn't. He will need to move another centimeter or two to see that. And there he goes. Does see the expansion, so KawaiiRice will need to make a decision now. Looks like he's already done it, though. He's going to go ahead and expand off of one barracks and start building up a second barracks right now. Who knows how many he'll end up with. Probably soon going to be thinking about building a factory and a starport as well, just to keep up on tech. Socke actually hasn't done anything else either. It's a bit strange to see the game go this far with only one production building for each player. Not sure what Socke's strategy is going to be. That one gateway expand is rather rare. I don't see that a lot. Now he's going up to 3 gateways. So it looks like he's just going to try and crank out as many units as he can in this mid-game. KawaiiRice not adding on any tech yet, just more barracks. So going to be seeing a lot of Tier 1 units smash heads against each other. KawaiiRice is going to be a bit slower expanding, but of course Terran have mules available with their orbital command, so he will be able to keep up on income. If we look at income right now, we'll see that KawaiiRice is behind in harvesters. Of course, mules allow him to do that since they mine so much faster than regular harvesters. And a second gas is going up for him now, so he will be thinking about adding a factory soon. He's going to press out here in the front, take out the scouting probe of Socke finally. He might think about building a bunker or a couple of turrets there as well. He does have an engineering bay up already, so he's getting +1 weapons and now transferring some workers over to his second base. He has not flipped it to an orbital command yet, but he does have the minerals, so the longer he waits to do that, the worse off he'll be. Finally, he does start it there. Socke has his base up and running here at his natural and has slightly more harvesters than KawaiiRice. You can see the difference there in the minerals, but he does not have the same number of gas. He's still getting up his second assimilator, so KawaiiRice will be a little bit ahead on the tech path at least. He is getting his factory up now, finally. Not seeing too much aggression out of either of these players, pretty much just them walking around with their scouts. Socke is going to be the first one to try and expand outside of his base, and he's going to drop a proxy pylon over here so they can start to warp in units later on. He's got 3 gateways already and a 4th one coming. They've already got warp gate tech, an observer coming out of this robotics facility first so he can get an eye on what KawaiiRice is doing on his side of the map. He's throwing up a 3rd and possibly a 4th gas. No, just covering his bases here with these pylons so he can warp in wherever he needs to. KawaiiRice is going to be the first one to move out of his base with a small army. He's only got a few Marauders and Marines here. Wants to check the Xel'Naga Tower for vision and take out this Stalker that's already waiting there. From Socke, he's not going to see anything too crazy. There's no expansion up here or pylons in the near area. And it looks like that observer from Socke is going to go ahead and check out everything KawaiiRice has been doing. He'll see these several barracks. He'll see the first factory and the starport starting to come up. So Socke should be well prepared for anything KawaiiRice actually throws at him. Observer also seeing the engineering bay here. Surprisingly, KawaiiRice hasn't built a single turret since Phoenixes are just so annoying and can kill your mules so incredibly quickly. Socke hasn't actually built a Stargate yet, but he very easily could have. There we see a scan from KawaiiRice, so at least he's keeping tabs on that expansion area. I'm going to take his vision for just a second and see what he sees. That scan did reveal Socke's army, but he does not know about this robotics facility churning out an immortal right now. So that could be trouble for him. Socke already has 1 up, and now is adding on a robotics bay, so Colossi will be coming in the near future. Colossi, of course, with their huge range, able to take out these Tier 1 units that KawaiiRice has been building the entire game, so he'll need to do a bit of a tech switch here soon if he's going to keep up with that. Probably will be flipping this starport onto this reactor once this medevac, maybe another medevac or 2 come out so that he can start creating some Vikings. Like I said, he does not know about that robotics bay yet, so maybe he's not going to think about building Vikings yet, but he does, in fact, flip that starport onto the reactor. So is he going to build 2 medevacs or 2 Vikings first? We'll just have to wait and see when he gets enough gas. Right now he does not have quite enough. He's got 2 more gas done here at his expansion, but does not have enough SCVs filling them to be at maximum. He's going to start moving again with a lot of Marauders and Marines. Just keep an eye on that production tab up there and see if Vikings or medevacs come out. It looks like extended thermal lances are coming for Socke, though, as well as that first Colossus. Where is he? He's not quite done yet. He's only about a quarter of the way done. Continuing to warp in units here at his front. He's got a few sentries mixed in, which will be nice for force fields. Always great to cut these small ranged armies in half or into even smaller pieces. KawaiiRice is going to start to elevator these units up into the main of Socke. He's only got a few here. I'm not sure what he's going to be attacking first. Oh, he uses these units for vision, takes out that forge incredibly quickly with the stim pack. Now he's aiming for this pylon, which could power down all these gateways. No, Socke, being a very wise Protoss player, has more than enough power here to keep these gateways up and running. The first Colossus is out now. KawaiiRice, I'm not sure if he actually got eyes on that. No, I don't believe he did. He still he must have dropped a scan at some point because he did see that robotics bay finally. Upgrading that extended thermal lance. The sooner that gets done, the better Socke will feel about facing this giant MMM army that KawaiiRice is starting to amass. Socke's supply is at 111 right now. KawaiiRice just barely ahead at 116. If we look at income again, Socke's still way ahead. He's at 7 more harvesters. Mules do make a difference normally, but it looks like Socke is focusing more on minerals than gas at the moment. They should actually both have about 12 workers on gas each, since they do each have 4 assimilators or extractors or what have you. And now Socke is taking a 3rd base. Oh, what do we have here? We have a drop from KawaiiRice as he's moving the bulk of his army around the gold base at the top. He is sending in this small task force to try and take out this robotics facility, and it'll be awesome if he manages to get this, because that Colossus was about 90% done. Huge pickup for KawaiiRice right there. He might even be able to save all of these guys as these Tier 1 units come in to fight it off. He just loads up in that medevac and heads on home. That was massive for KawaiiRice, being able to take out that robotics facility right as the Colossus was about to finish. And he's being attacked over here at his 3rd, so Socke not able to hold on to either of his investments here. KawaiiRice just runs in with that stim pack and runs right back out. Socke had to actually split his forces there to try and deal with this drop and with that frontal assault. So Socke probably reeling right now, a bit upset. He's going to have to rebuild that robotics facility somewhere. Doesn't look like he's done that just yet. Oh, there he goes. 2 facilities way on the far right, which is a bit of an interesting decision since KawaiiRice's army was just over there, and that would actually be the first place that he attacked if he took that path again. Socke still not giving up on this third base. He wants to get that mineral advantage. He's a very good macro player. KawaiiRice is far ahead on army count, though. He's at 151 against a whopping 118. Not going to be enough for Socke unless he starts chrono boosting some Colossi out of there right this second, and of course he does as soon as those facilities are done. A single Marine over here for KawaiiRice, keeping eyes on this side of the map, goes down very quickly to those stalkers there from Socke. KawaiiRice is keeping a factory floating here between his base and Socke's just to make sure that no flying units come through here, no warp prisms, anything like that, no drops will be occurring back here. He's still got a medevac loaded up and perfect timing. He is on the move again with those 3 Marauders and 2 Marines loaded in there. However, Socke's stalkers are already there. He doesn't continue to focus down the medevac. There he finally did take out that transport, so now these 3 units are going to be forfeit of KawaiiRice, and Socke just needs to warp in a couple more guys to deal with that threat. KawaiiRice now moving through the middle of the map. As soon as this Marauder dies, I will flip over to it, and there he goes. So KawaiiRice mobilizing. He lost his drop. Socke, of course, with his observer right here, is seeing all of this movement. He sees the Vikings, saw the medevacs earlier, and this is a lot of Tier 1 units. He's going to need some great force fields. He's going to need some great Colossus positioning if he's going to battle this off. KawaiiRice sitting at 1-0 upgrades, and Socke at 1-0 as well. Here comes the engagement. KawaiiRice stims up, runs in, force fields going down, but it doesn't look like they're being too effective right now. KawaiiRice doing a good job not getting his army pinned out of place here. The Colossus, the single Colossus that's up, falls to this Viking fire. Of course, he cannot defend himself. KawaiiRice still at 117 supply, Socke at 122, so he actually did a decent job defending that. Didn't lose too much out of his army there, except for those couple of Colossi. He's chrono boosting this robotics facility, and nothing is being produced. That's a pretty rookie mistake for Socke. Do not expect to see that ever again. But 2 more gas coming up now at his third. KawaiiRice trying to take a third of his own. This game is starting to get into the later stages, so it'll be very important to see how these players react with upgrades, tech switches, anything like that. KawaiiRice does have a solid income now, though, so he's adding on another starport, another factory. He's adding a tech lab onto his original one. Might be seeing some tanks out here soon. He might even upgrade, get that armory, and get some Thors out. He's got a Ghost Academy built. No nuke yet, but he could research it. Terran players, you never know if you're going to see a nuke or not. EMP from those ghosts will be very, very handy against those Immortals and Colossi of Socke, though, if it comes to it. So Socke trying to keep map vision here at least. He's got a couple of observers around the map. Does not have one over KawaiiRice's base, and he easily could. There are no turrets anywhere for detection, no ravens out, anything like that. So I'm surprised Socke is not keeping an observer over his opponent's base there. Here we do have another observer coming out. Socke wants to see as much as he possibly can. KawaiiRice just marauding around with a few Marines and Marauders. Haha, see what I did there? Marauding around with Marauders. Huh, so clever. And these Stalkers are stalking around. And these Colossi are colossing around. Like big ol' spider. Whatever the hell they are. They have 3 legs, or 4 legs, I guess. Doesn't really make sense how they are managing to walk like that, but whatever. It seems like you could just shoot a few missiles at their legs and they would fall down. But whatever, I'm not here to judge Protoss army mechanics. And Socke is just walking around killing what he can. KawaiiRice is going to move into the top of Socke's third here and try and get a few free Pylon and Zealot kills. However, this Colossus might have something to say about that. He's going to be very careful keeping this guy alive, and hopefully he doesn't lose it to those 4 units. Wow, that was really sloppy by Socke. His whole army was right there. He could have just backed that Colossus off, maybe lost 1 more Pylon and been fine. So a bit surprised again to see a little bit of a mistake there from Socke. KawaiiRice not really making too many mistakes. He's staying aggressive, building the right units. A couple of ghosts out now. That Thor that I mentioned earlier. Love to see the Thor. Big sweet mech unit. I'm surprised KawaiiRice doesn't have the Collector's Edition, or this thing would look like something out of Gundam Wing. But Socke now is deciding he is too far behind. He's at 181 supply. KawaiiRice probably going to be maxed. No, only at 184. That's a bit surprising. And Socke is backing off, so being very indecisive this game, making a couple of minor mistakes. KawaiiRice still has a bit of an advantage, although Socke's third base seems to be fully saturated. KawaiiRice still getting that up and running. He's actually adding on a 4th base now with this other command center building here. Turn this one into a planetary fortress, so even if Socke does manage to get all the way across the map through KawaiiRice's army, he could have trouble taking that out. Oh, one very well-placed turret here against this Warp Prism. Warp Prisms are made of glass, if you didn't know. That thing shatters into a bunch of pieces before it can do anything sneaky. And Warpins, of course, can be very detrimental to an economy line, but KawaiiRice's base is almost mined out anyway. Oh, now we have a huge engagement here. at the front of Socke's natural. All these Stalkers going down, not a single force field to be seen. Lots of Colossi in the mix, but they go down incredibly quickly to these many, many Vikings. So again, I have to give it to KawaiiRice. Looks like he's going to mow right through this forest into Socke's undefended natural. Could be seeing the end of the game here soon, folks. A GG should be in line. This Colossus comes out. He's not going to be able to do anything on his own. Would have loved to see some sentries in that army just to keep those Colossi alive a little bit longer. But these Vikings, the Viking count, Socke just had no anti-air to deal with that, even though we saw the Vikings about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Never got a Stargate up, which is a bit surprising. He did start to invest in Templar tech, so we will see some feedbacks there on those medevacs, but I believe it's too little too late. That investment probably would have been better spent on some Phoenixes or something like that, but all these Vikings are just going to go to town on what's left of Socke's army. He even pulled probes there, just got mangled, and now the Thor is here, going to be taking down these warp gates incredibly quickly. A couple of Zealots being warped in, they're not going to do anything. 168 supply food against 71. Socke knows when he's beat, and GG's on out of the game. So if you enjoyed that game, watch some of the rest of the Root Warzone Round 1 games that I've cast, or head over to Day 9 TV on YouTube to catch the rest of this tournament. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.